So I was reminded recently, about 4 years ago, or going on 4 years ago, we were in Texas, and my husband and I were on our long road trip where we were living on national land, and we went to find a camp spot. And we dropped the trailer off so we could explore the pretty bumpy roads to see if there was a spot where we wanted to go. And there wasn't anything, so we backed up, and little did we know at the time, we backed the truck up into a mesquite bush and it punctured our gas tank. And we took that branch with us when we pulled forward. So our gas tank has this branch into it. And we get back and we hook up the trailer and we're driving along, and I'm like, something's not right. And we stop and I look under the truck and you can see this branch, and there's gas just pouring out. So we booked it because we were way out. We booked it to the closest town. I'm calling on the phone. Can we, finding a campground where we could park the truck that was close enough to where we could get the truck repaired. And we get there, and it's the same time where Jim has job interviews. And he had a job interview that he needed to fly out for. And so he ended up leaving. I'm waiting for the truck. Well, his job, when we load up the trailer, when we're ready to move the trailer, he does all the outside stuff, getting it all ready. And if you've ever traveled with a trailer, there's all kinds of little things you have to remember to do, like raise up the stabilizers, or you drive off and the stabilizers stay where you were. And I do the insides, making sure all the cabinets are secure, and putting the dishes in a way that they're not going to rattle and break on each other and that kind of thing. So we all had our routine. Well, then he was gone, and I needed to hook up the trailer. The truck was finished. It was, repaired. And I had to get to El Paso, which was hours away. And I was terrified. I had never done it by myself. I had barely driven the truck and the trailer on a straight highway, let alone, hooked it up, made sure all of the things were ready. I mean, even backing up the truck to get the hitch it hooked up was scary and challenging. But I had to do it. I had to get there. I had to pick him up. And so, I had my checklist, and I kept making sure I had everything done and double checked it. And I drove to El Paso, and there was a huge accident on the freeway. So the mapping thing sent me down a very rugged, rustic dirt road, and which I could go like 15 miles an hour because I had the trailer and it was jumping all around. And then there were flash flood warnings. There was a thunderstorm coming in and flash flood warnings, and I'm on this dirt road, which I know will be flooded. So it was quite harrowing. But I got there and I picked him up, and I just felt so satisfied by, really struggling against those fears. I mean, yes, he could have gotten in and taken a bus to me if I couldn't do it, but sometimes in those times of real stress, or, where, it's you or some other big thing has to happen, we can rally ourselves. And, in that time, I depended on Jim, even though he wasn't there. He's the one who made the checklist for me. I think I even talked to him on the phone, or maybe even walked around with a video saying, okay, does this look right? I relied on those in my life who had knowledge about that. And then I also relied on my own inner strength, realizing that, I can do this. I think so often in our lives we are, we decide that I can't do something. I'd never had to do that. I had someone who could always drive for me. But when we're in a situation where we have to do it, we can find that inner strength in ourselves. And part of the work that I do is helping people release those beliefs about themselves, that they can't do something, or that's too far a stretch. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. All of those voices that come up are just, those internal voices. They don't have any truth to them. And then I relied on my own inner connection to God, to spirit, to listen to that intuition that said, oh, did you lift up the the stabilizer bars? Did you, do these things? And I paid attention, and I made sure I was aware of what was going on around me. And I had faith that I could do it with the help that I had around me. So, as you face, difficult raising of a totally different habit body, a totally different way of living, we are following our dreams. We have this vision of what we want, which is not what it looks like right now. So as we're doing that process, those fears are going to come up. Those doubts about how you can do this. And when those do, we can rely on those people in our lives who have faith in us, who know the truth, who have the skills that we're looking for. We can find that inner connectedness and that inner wholeness so that we do have what it takes to do whatever it is that we're desiring to do. And to know that Spirit will give you the support and the insight and the inspiration, and this physical things will be brought to you as you take those steps towards your dream. So I invite you this week to really step into that vision, to put aside the how and the fears, and to really step into asking the divine what it is that I need to do. What step do I need to do right now from where I am to get where it is that I want to go? Blessings.